Young and the Restless, who left YandR in 2025. Devastating departures and tragic deaths. Young and the Restless kicks off 2026, but we're going to take a look at the characters and actors who left YandR in 2025. We've got deaths, we've got recasts, and so much more to discuss. We're going to talk about all the casting changes and ins and outs on the character canvas in 2025. Alright, so early 2025, Young and the Restless was focusing on wrapping up a major storyline involving Jordan Howard, Colleen Zenk, Ian Ward, Ray Wise, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and her hallucinations of Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby. Jordan Howard's deadly tea party. Colleen Zenk exits Young and the Restless. We saw the last of Jordan Howard towards the end of January in 2025. Her great-niece Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, poisoned a cup of tea as they were having a showdown. It was Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, Claire, and Jordan all at the Tack House on the Newman property. Claire knew she had to stop her crazy great-aunt Jordan for good. So after Claire poisoned her tea, Jordan drank it. Even though she knew it would kill her, she knew that Claire had poisoned it and knew that her great-niece wanted her dead. But in the end, Jordan was cornered and decided death was better than prison. And that was the end of Jordan's character. Ian Ward's Lazarus Act. Ray Wise returns to haunt Mariah on YandR. Shortly after that, Ian Ward exited as long-time recurring villain. We saw Victor Newman, Eric Braden, shoot Ian in January 2025, right after he'd shot Victor. Ian's character looked pretty darn dead. The EMTs called time of death, but then when Ian was in the ambulance, he woke up, not so dead after all. A little bit of that Lazarus syndrome was happening. Then in October 2025, we had Ian back with Ian haunting Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, at the mental health clinic in Boston where she's trying to recover from the trauma that Ian had inflicted on her. He just popped up again in December to haunt Mariah once again. So Ian's not gone for good, not just yet. He's got more chaos to cause for Mariah. I suspect Ian will return as Ian at some point in the flesh, not just as a hallucination to torment the Newmans and not just mess with their minds. Cameron Kirsten says goodbye. Lyndon Ashby's final hallucinations on Young and the Restless. Next, let's talk about Cameron Kirsten's exit. This was his second exit. He had come back to torment Sharon, but she stabbed him to death in 2023 down in the sewers, if you'll remember. But then Cameron returned when Sharon started hallucinating him because Ian and Jordan were drugging her. The hallucination of Cameron, though, was also gone in January 2025 when Sharon realized she didn't need him anymore. Remember, he had kind of been her Jiminy Cricket, her counselor that was talking things through in her head. Cameron and Sharon said their goodbyes, and when she opened her eyes, Cameron was gone for good, hopefully. The abrupt disappearance of Amanda Sinclair and Miss Hale Morgan on YandR. Alright, next, let's talk about a particularly abrupt departure. That was Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan. She had been gone for more than a year because the actress had relocated to Canada to live with family up there. Her husband's Canadian. Then Amanda Sinclair came back in May. Her return was to set up Kane Ashby's Billy Flynn debut as a recast. He made his debut in June 2025, and Amanda was Kane's attorney and his close friend and confidant. She was a huge part of his storyline, and then she just vanished. The last time we saw Amanda was September of 2025, and she just disappeared. Amanda's character left with no explanation out of the blue. There was no mention of Amanda going out of town to do other business. She was just poof gone. A disrespectful death? Connor Floyd leaves Young and the Restless as Chance Chancellor. Alright, let's talk about a character death and exit. Connor Floyd took a job over on Days of Our Lives, ironically taking on the role of Chad DiMera, who Billy Flynn had played before he quit Days to come over to Young and the Restless to play Kane. So, head writer Josh Griffith decided to kill off legacy offspring Chance Chancellor. He was killed at Kane's chateau in France in July. Killing Chance set up Connor and Billy's little soap swap. But a lot of people were not only mad that they killed off Chance, but we didn't even get an on-screen funeral. It was kind of disrespectful. A lot of fans aren't happy about that exit. Damian Kane's short-lived romance. Jermaine Rivers exits YandR. That takes us to another character death, Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers. They cast Damian as the character, who was Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, new love interest. And then they even brought his mom on, Amy Lewis, Valerie Pettiford. And they got this great actress to play her. Then out of nowhere, Damian was stabbed and killed by Kane Ashby's psycho assistant, Carter, in July of 2025 at the chateau. Carter stabbed Damien, and then he shot Chance, and then Carter shot himself. For many fans, Damien's exit was disappointing. Not only because he and Lily were heating up and she was crushed when he was murdered, but also because we had Amy and we had the reveal that he was Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic brother. In the end, it all kind of felt pointless to bring him in and then take him out like that. Cole Howard's controversial death, J. Eddie Peck's exit storyline on Young and the Restless. Another character death in 2025 happened when Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck, exited in July. He improbably died from very highly curable Legionnaire's disease, sloppy writing. His daughter Claire and her mom Victoria obviously were absolutely devastated, and it was kind of a dumb thing to have him die from. They didn't even bother to Google it and see that it's very survivable. Summer Newman heads to Italy. Allison Lanier steps away from YandR. Now to another exit that thankfully was not a character death. Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, left Young and the Restless in May 2025 when her 3-year contract was up. Reportedly, Allison Lanier decided to step away from the role, step away from YandR. So to set up the actress's exit, they had Summer head off to Italy after Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, left Marchetti to go work with their boyfriends Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. Summer decided to stay in Italy. She's dating somebody, but she's mentioned fairly often. They do these off-screen visits where her adoptive son Harrison Locke, Redding Munsell, goes to see her. With so many mentions of Summer and with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, thinking he and Claire are done, maybe we'll get Summer back, even if they have to recast and replace the actress if she still doesn't want to return. But for now, Summer remains off-screen. The Abbott sisters, Beth Maitland and Eileen Davidson's Young and the Restless status. All right. 2025 also had Tracy Abbott, Beth Maitland, and Ashley Abbott, Eileen Davidson, in and out. Their exits were triggered by Tracy's psycho fiancé Alan Loran, Christopher Cousins, who turned out to be his psychotic twin brother Martin Loran, also Christopher Cousins, who had been impersonating Alan. Martin left Young and the Restless in April 2025, arrested by Chance after he kidnapped and traumatized Sharon and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. After Martin's exit, we saw Tracy and Ashley leave for New York to work on their own City trauma has never recovery. Been short on drama, but recent events on the Young and the Restless have left fans reeling in shock and heartbreak. Over the past year, the iconic soap opera has seen some of its most devastating departures and tragic deaths yet, turning the lives of its beloved characters upside down and leaving audiences glued to their screens, desperate to know what comes next. For diehard YandR fans, these exits aren't just plot twists, they are emotional gut punches. A year of shocking goodbyes. 2025 has proven to be a year of seismic shifts for Genoa City. From longtime veterans leaving the canvas to shocking, untimely deaths that have rocked the Newman and Abbott families, the landscape of YandR has changed irrevocably. What makes these departures so impactful is the deep history many of these characters have had on the show. They aren't just faces in the crowd. They are people we've grown up with, shared in their triumphs and heartbreaks, and invested in over decades. Among the most notable exits was Colleen Zenk, the beloved actress who portrayed Jordan Howard. Her departure shocked viewers, as her character's storylines had become a linchpin in Genoa City's social and business intrigues. Jordan's exit wasn't just about losing a character. It symbolized the end of an era. Fans had come to expect her sharp wit and cunning strategies in business and family matters, and now, her absence leaves a noticeable void. While some speculated a potential return in the future, the door seems firmly closed, for now at least. Equally heartbreaking was the tragic death of Ian Ward, played by the indelible Ray Wise. Ian's character was nothing short of menacing, a calculated presence whose every move sent chills down viewers' spines. His death shook Genoa City to its core, leaving Mariah Copeland, one of his most complex adversaries, in emotional turmoil. The Lazarus-like returns and sudden departures that YandR fans have become accustomed to only amplified the shock. One day Ian was scheming, the next he was gone, leaving Mariah and audiences grieving a loss that feels both personal and monumental. The domino effect, families torn apart. In YandR, one death or departure rarely happens in isolation. The ripple effects are devastating. Ian Ward's death, for example, forced Mariah into a spiral of introspection and revenge plotting, altering her interactions with other characters such as Devin and Abby. Meanwhile, Jordan Howard's absence removed a stabilizing yet formidable force in the Newman family, leaving other characters to scramble for control in both personal and professional spheres. The Abbott family also faced its own share of turmoil. Departures and deaths have opened fissures in long-standing alliances. Characters like Jack Abbott and Ashley Abbott have been forced to confront a new reality where power dynamics shift unpredictably, loyalties are tested, and old wounds resurface. For viewers, watching these familiar faces navigate loss is both heartbreaking and compelling. YandR excels at turning family upheaval into dramatic gold. The emotional weight of tragic deaths. Soap operas have always excelled at shocking their audiences, but few things land as hard as a tragic death. Unlike character exits, which can be explained away with a sudden career change, mysterious disappearance, or a secret escape, deaths are permanent. In 2025, YandR has not shied away from these final moments. One of the most talked about deaths was a key figure whose demise left an entire storyline in chaos. The writing ensured that the character's passing wasn't just a plot device. It was a deeply emotional moment. Longtime fans were left mourning, not just the character, but the memories associated with decades of storylines. YandR has always had a knack for blending shock with sentimentality, and this death was a masterclass in soap opera drama. Tragically, deaths on the show also have the power to catalyze other storylines. Survivor characters are often forced into new alliances or rivalries, creating a ripple effect that reshapes the narrative landscape. For instance, a character's sudden demise might open the door for an unexpected romance, a corporate takeover, or a shocking revelation about hidden secrets. It's these cascading consequences that keep fans emotionally invested and glued to every episode. Why departures hurt more than ever? Part of what makes recent YandR departures so devastating is the sheer longevity of some of the characters. Fans have followed their arcs for years, sometimes decades, seeing them through heartbreaks, scandals, and personal growth. The emotional investment is profound. When a character leaves, it's not just a narrative change, it's a personal loss for the audience. Take the case of Jordan Howard. Over the years, her character had become a central pillar of YandR's moral and strategic compass. Her departure isn't just a matter of changing storylines. It's the removal of a character who carried weight in nearly every major event. For viewers, it's like losing a friend who's been a constant companion in their daily lives. Meanwhile, deaths like Ian Ward's carry a different emotional resonance. They're shocking, irrevocable, and they upend the equilibrium of Genoa City. Mariah Copeland's grief is shared by fans, creating a communal mourning experience that is uniquely powerful in the soap opera genre. These losses remind audiences of the fragility of life. Even in a world filled with scheming, betrayals, and miraculous resurrections, some exits are permanent. The future of Genoa City. As Genoa City reels from these departures and deaths, the writers of YandR face a unique challenge. How to honor the past while keeping the storylines fresh and engaging. New faces, returning favorites, and unexpected alliances will all play a role in shaping the post-2025 landscape. Fans can expect ripple effects for months, if not years. Characters left behind are now forced to reevaluate their priorities. Relationships are being tested like never before, and the power plays in both the Newman and Abbott empires are more volatile than ever. As Genoa City moves forward, viewers can anticipate intense drama, shocking twists, and emotional payoffs that honor the legacy of those who've left. In some ways, these exits and deaths reaffirm what makes YandR such a beloved soap opera. Its ability to keep audiences emotionally invested, constantly guessing, and unapologetically attached to the fates of its characters. While the losses are painful, they also pave the way for new stories, new conflicts, and new heartbreaks, a cycle that has kept the young and the restless thriving for decades. A fan's emotional roller coaster. For longtime fans, 2025 has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Farewells, deaths, and shocking twists have tested loyalties and pulled at heartstrings in ways only YandR can. Social media has been ablaze with tributes, theories, and tearful goodbyes as fans attempt to process the rapid evolution of Genoa City. The soap has reminded us that while characters may leave, the emotions they evoke remain deeply embedded in the hearts of viewers. As we reflect on these devastating departures and tragic deaths, one thing is clear. YandR continues to excel at the art of emotional storytelling. The drama, heartbreak, and shocks are as potent as ever, proving why Genoa City remains a place fans return to day after day, year after year. From Colleen Zenk's departure to Ray Wise's chilling exit as Ian Ward, 2025 has rewritten the rules of emotional investment on the young
City
and
has
the
been
restless.
rocked
To its core this week with shocking developments that no fan saw coming. In a twist that has left viewers reeling, soap legend Colleen Zenk, the beloved actress behind Jordan Howard, has bid farewell to the young and the restless. But her departure is anything but quiet. It comes wrapped in a web of suspense, betrayal, and a tea party that turned deadly. Let's dive into the chilling events and emotional fallout that have defined this unforgettable exit. For years, Jordan Howard has been a formidable presence in Genoa City, known for her sharp intellect, unwavering courage, and uncanny ability to stir the pot in the most elegant way possible. But even the sharpest minds can't anticipate every threat, and Jordan's latest misstep proves fatal. Not physically, but in a way that shakes the very foundation of her life in Genoa City. It all began with the invitation. Jordan, ever the gracious hostess, decided to throw a lavish afternoon tea for her closest friends and rivals. The guest list, carefully curated, included allies she could trust, or so she thought. Among the attendees were Nikki Newman, Sharon Newman, Victor Newman, and a few other familiar faces whose loyalty has always been as unpredictable as the city's weather. But this was no ordinary gathering. Hidden beneath the delicate porcelain teacups and the fragrant aroma of Earl Grey was a storm that would soon erupt. Jordan, known for her ability to sniff out danger, had sensed tension simmering in Genoa City. Victor, as always, had his own motives, while Sharon's return from a mysterious sabbatical only added to the intrigue. But the real twist came in the form of Jordan's new acquaintance, Jordan's friend, who had a hidden agenda that nobody, least of all Jordan herself, could foresee. This individual had infiltrated the tea party under the guise of camaraderie, but the truth was far darker. As the afternoon unfolded, conversations started innocently enough. Catching up on the latest business schemes, sharing gossip about love affairs, and subtle digs that only soap veterans would recognize as precursors to chaos. But when the tea was served, a series of subtle, sinister acts began to unfold. Jordan's sharp instincts told her that something was off, yet the atmosphere of civility masked the danger that lurked in every polite nod and forced smile. Then it happened. A seemingly harmless exchange over a sugar bowl escalated into a confrontation that revealed shocking betrayals. Jordan's friend turned on her in a way that stunned everyone present, revealing secrets that were meant to stay buried. The revelation not only exposed Jordan's personal vulnerabilities, but also threatened to unravel decades of alliances in Genoa City. With one calculated move, the careful balance of power shifted dramatically, and the tea party became a battlefield of words, wills, and wits. Colleen Zenk's portrayal of Jordan Howard during this arc was nothing short of mesmerizing. The actress brought layers of sophistication, cunning, and heartbreak to the character, making the audience feel every betrayal and every victory. Her exit, framed around this deadly tea party, was a masterclass in soap storytelling. The scenes captured the tension perfectly. Jordan's eyes darting with suspicion, the clink of fine china amplifying the suspense, and the dramatic pauses that hinted at imminent disaster. Every gesture, every line delivered by Zenk added to the sense that Genoa City itself was holding its breath. For fans, this departure is more than just the loss of a character. It's the exit of a legacy. Colleen Zenk has been part of daytime television history for decades, bringing a level of gravitas and nuance to every scene. Jordan Howard's final moments are as memorable as her many triumphs, leaving a void that will be felt by both the characters within the show and the audience watching at home. But let's not forget the aftermath. Jordan's exit leaves a ripple effect throughout Genoa City. Alliances will crumble, rivalries will intensify, and secrets that were once safely hidden may come to light. Victor Newman, predictably, will maneuver to seize advantage, while Sharon and Nikki will be forced to recalibrate their strategies in a city that never sleeps and never forgives. The tea party may be over, but the consequences will linger like a shadow over every character's storyline. Interestingly, the timing of Jordan's departure coincides with other major shakeups on the young and the restless. New characters are arriving, old rivalries are reigniting, and the stakes in Genoa City have never been higher. Jordan Howard's exit serves as a catalyst, propelling the narrative into uncharted territory and setting the stage for even more dramatic confrontations. Soap fans can expect shockwaves, cliffhangers, and the kind of jaw-dropping twists that have become synonymous with the show's legacy. Social media has already exploded with reactions. Fans have expressed sorrow, nostalgia, and awe at how Colleen Zenk handled the character's farewell. Hashtags celebrating Jordan's wit, courage, and unforgettable tea party have trended, with viewers sharing favorite moments and speculating on what this means for future storylines. The consensus is clear. Jordan Howard may have left Genoa City, but her presence will be felt for years to come. In true soap opera fashion, the deadly nature of Jordan's tea party isn't about murder. It's about a psychological, emotional, and social unraveling that leaves the city in chaos. The exit is poetic in its own way. A final gathering where elegance masks danger and civility crumbles under the weight of betrayal. Colleen Zenk's performance ensures that this is a goodbye viewers will never forget, a dramatic punctuation mark in the ongoing saga of the young and the restless. As the city mourns Jordan Howard's departure, fans can only wonder who will rise to fill the vacuum she leaves behind. Will Victor Newman exploit the disruption? Can Nikki and Sharon maintain order in a city teetering on the edge? And most importantly, will the friend who orchestrated this deadly tea party continue to haunt Genoa City, or has Jordan eliminated the threat once and for all? In the end, Jordan Howard's exit is a masterclass in soap opera storytelling, a blend of suspense, emotional intensity, and unforgettable character work. Colleen Zenk's portrayal ensures that the character will live on in the hearts of fans, a reminder that in Genoa City, even a seemingly peaceful tea party can have deadly consequences. One thing is certain, Genoa City will never be no stranger to shocks, but nothing prepared fans for the chilling return of Ian Ward. The man believed dead, erased from history by his own dark machinations, is back. Ray Wise's Lazarus Act has sent tremors through every corner of the young and the restless. And Mariah Copeland, poor unsuspecting Mariah, is right at the center of this storm. It all began with whispers. First, a shadow in the corner of Mariah's penthouse. Then a cryptic voicemail on her phone, featuring that unmistakable, cold, taunting voice. And finally, the reveal we've all been waiting for. Ian Ward, very much alive, standing in the shadows of Mariah's life, ready to pick up where he left off. For longtime fans, this isn't just a return, it's a nightmare come alive. Ray Wise's portrayal of Ian Ward has always carried an air of menace that few could match. From his initial appearances, he was the embodiment of subtle terror. Charming when convenient, ruthless when provoked, and utterly unpredictable at every turn. And this latest return? It feels even more personal. Ward isn't just back for revenge. He's back to haunt Mariah, and perhaps more disturbingly, to unravel the fabric of her life in ways that only he could conceive. The tension in Mariah's world is palpable. She's had a tumultuous few months, recovering from heartbreak, navigating the treacherous waters of Genoa City's elite, and grappling with family secrets that never seem to end. Yet, nothing could have prepared her for the psychological chess game that Ian Ward is about to unleash. His return is calculated, precise, and terrifyingly intimate. Every interaction is loaded with a threat, every word a trap. Mariah, for all her courage, is caught in a web she never asked to enter. Fans are already speculating wildly about Ward's motives. Some believe he has unfinished business with Mariah specifically, a personal vendetta tied to secrets she may not even know she holds. Others argue that this return is bigger than just one woman. Ward has always had a knack for chaos, and his manipulations have a ripple effect that can touch anyone within his orbit. Could Victor Newman, ever the master manipulator himself, become an unwitting pawn in Ward's game? Or is this personal for Mariah alone? Only time will tell, but the possibilities are spine-tingling. One of the most compelling aspects of this storyline is the psychological warfare. Ian Ward's genius lies in his ability to destabilize his targets without ever raising a hand. Mariah's friends and family sense something is wrong, yet Ward's presence is like a phantom, elusive, impossible to pin down. This creates an atmosphere of constant dread, as Mariah begins to question not only her surroundings but her own sanity. It's classic soap opera tension, elevated by the sheer malevolence of Ray Wise's performance. The return also opens the door to revisiting Ian Ward's past crimes, some of which had seemed conclusively resolved. His previous manipulations, his blackmail schemes, and his intricate web of lies suddenly take on new significance. Could there be allies Ward cultivated in secret, ready to aid him in his latest machinations? Or worse, enemies he's turned against one another, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Genoa City has never felt this unpredictable, and with Ward back, the potential for shockwaves is limitless. Mariah's response to Ward's return will be pivotal. Her history with him is fraught with tension, mistrust, and a dash of fear that's hard to shake. But she is no shrinking violet. Over the years, Mariah has faced villains, heartbreak, and betrayals that would crumble most people. Her resilience is her superpower, and fans are eager to see her strategy as she navigates the treacherous waters Ward has dredged up. Will she confront him head-on, or attempt to outwit him from the shadows? Either path promises drama and likely some spectacular Genoa City showdowns. This return also revitalizes the broader narrative of the young and the restless. In an era where soap operas often struggle to balance legacy characters with new storylines, Ian Ward's Lazarus Act is a masterstroke. It ties past storylines to present tension, rewarding longtime viewers while creating fresh intrigue for newer fans. The ripple effect is already being felt. Social media buzz is off the charts, discussions online are heated, and fan theories are multiplying by the hour. Every viewer is wondering, what is Ian Ward's endgame? And more importantly, will Mariah survive it intact? Of course, Ray Wise brings a gravitas to the role that makes every scene electric. His presence commands attention, and his delivery, calculated, menacing, yet almost hypnotic, turns every line into a chilling threat. In an age where soap opera villains can sometimes feel cartoonish, Ian Ward is terrifyingly real. His return isn't just a plot device. It's an event, a performance, and a reminder of what makes the young and the restless truly compelling. As the episodes unfold, expect Mariah's allies to become increasingly entangled in Ward's schemes. His manipulations aren't limited to the primary target. Friends, lovers, and even the most trusted confidants may find themselves caught in his web. This creates tension not only for Mariah, but for the entire Genoa City ensemble. Every interaction, every conversation, is potentially fraught with danger. In classic soap opera style, no one is safe, and the suspense is relentless. Thematically, Ward's return also explores something deeper: the ghosts of our past and the ways they shape the present. Ian Ward is more than a villain. He is a personification of unresolved trauma, secrets, and the consequences of actions long believed buried. Mariah's journey as she confronts him is also a journey into confronting her own fears, regrets, and unresolved conflicts. This psychological depth elevates the storyline, ensuring that it's not just sensational, it's meaningful. In the coming weeks, audiences can expect twists that challenge everything they know about Ward and Mariah. Will Ward have accomplices waiting in the shadows? Will Mariah uncover secrets that change the course of her life forever? And perhaps most importantly, can anyone in Genoa City trust the people around them when Ian Ward is back in play? The answers are likely to be shocking, heartbreaking, and utterly compelling. In short, Ian Ward's Lazarus Act is one of the most thrilling developments on the young and the restless in years. Ray Wise's return brings a mix of dread, fascination, and anticipation that is impossible to ignore. For Mariah Copeland, the nightmare has only just begun, and Genoa City's residents and viewers are about to be pulled into a web of suspense, intrigue, and danger that will leave no one untouched. Ward's return is not just a comeback. It's a declaration. Genoa City's past is never really gone, and some ghosts refuse to stay buried. As Mariah confronts the shadows of her own life, fans will be glued to their screens, heart pounding, wondering just how deep Ian Ward's reach will extend, and whether Mariah can survive the ultimate game of cat and mouse. In the world of the young and the restless, one thing is certain: with Ian Ward back, nothing will ever be the same.